Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. Welcome to our show titled Speak of Africa. As usual, we have a great show for you today. We have a lot of news. We're going to talk about Burkina Faso. We're going to talk about Congo DRC. We're going to talk about Gabon. We're going to talk about La République du Cameroon. We're going to talk about Guinea, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Libya, South Africa, South Sudan, and Togo. So there are so many countries we're going to talk about. For the theme of today, we're going to focus more on revolutionary rain falling in Africa. The rain of revolution is falling in Africa massively. In fact, if you've been watching the latest headlines on social media, on TV, the news on Africa really focuses on General Michael Langley. He's a general in charge of AFRICOM. AFRICOM is the arm, the military arm the U.S. uses to project power in Africa. AFRICOM. So General Michael Langley is the one overseeing this AFRICOM. In April, he was delivering a presentation in front of the U.S. Senate, and he made some pronouncements about the competition the United States is facing with Russia, China, and other parties. Already, we've told you that the U.S. is declining slowly as the preeminent superpower of the world. The world is becoming multipolar, which means you have different positions of power. The U.S. is not the only game in town the way it used to be after the Second World War, when the U.S. became the preeminent superpower, when we started having what I call the American century. Things are changing. A lot of countries are fighting to topple the United States from the throne. China is one. Russia is not really a big threat, according to America, but China is the biggest threat because the economy is really growing big. So the United States is looking for ways to beat China in trade or to slow the further growth of China. That's basically the American position. Donald Trump has come as a candidate who is trying to deliver on that promise to make America great again. America has been a great nation. So when he says, I want to make America great again, he wants to restore the American empire to its glory days, when America had preeminence everywhere in the world, when America was the best policeman of the world. Africa now is the theater of war, where America is fighting for resources. America is scrambling for resources with other competitors, such as China, Russia, North Korea, and so forth. So General Langley was presenting stuff at the Senate. Then he pinpointed the role of anti-colonialist forces like Russia and China, who are undoing the colonial agenda that America always has. Of course, you guys know America's playbook. When they want to take down a leader in Africa, they will drum up propaganda. Much of the media will say bad things about that leader. Then they will cook up excuses why they have to get rid of this leader. Then they would doctor the news channels in those countries so that the people should start hating their leader. That makes it easy now to overthrow the leader. It has happened with so many leaders in Africa, and I think Africans feel like they've come of age. They don't want to play that game again. I think they've read America's regime change playbook. They understand it very, very well. When you look at what is happening in Burkina Faso, there are marches everywhere, all over the world, not only in Africa. In America itself, pro-Ibrahim Traoré forces are marching. In Europe, in France, they are marching. Everywhere, pro-Ibrahim Traoré forces are marching. So some people may ask, what has Ibrahim Traoré actually done to deserve the wrath of the United States of America, NATO, and the European Union? Okay, the answer is simple. For the first time, these forces are seeing a leader who is not a colonial collaborator. They are seeing a leader who wants to get rid of colonialism, who wants to get rid of imperialism, who wants sovereignty for his country. And this leader is becoming like a role model in the rest of Africa. All the youth of Africa are clamoring and praising Ibrahim Traoré. The colonialists don't like this. Then the puppet presidents like Kenya, William Ruto, Paul Biya of Cameroon, when they see a young guy like this who is sensitizing the youth to rebel against colonialism, they don't like it. They feel like youth in their countries are going to start taking lessons from Ibrahim Traoré. Because when you look at what Ibrahim Traoré has done recently, since taking over power in 2022 or 2023, a lot of changes have been taking place in his country, politically, socially, and economically. On the political front, he has cut all ties with France, the former colonial master of Burkina Faso. On the economic front, he has asked his people to industrialize, self-reliance industrialization. That's what is taking place. Tomato factories and car manufacturing, gold refinery, all those things are happening in Burkina Faso. So he's trying to encourage his people to industrialize and move from an agrarian economy where they can refine their own stuff instead of sending this stuff to Europe. The Europeans will pay African pennies. So he's asking his people to refine the gold at home. He's creating the gold reserves. So when he does this, it's not good business for the colonial masters and their friends. That's why they are making noise and they are against Ibrahim Traoré. On the social front, he's giving dignity to his people. He's making them wear African stuff instead of wearing European stuff. He's making them wear their own stuff, and this is good for their economy. As a result of all this stuff he's doing, he's creating a fertile economic environment for his people. He's giving them jobs, and at the same time, he's using the weapons he's getting from Russia, China, and other partners to fight the jihadist threat that is facing his country. So he's been doing a lot of things very, very well. So even his detractors are seeing that Ibrahim Traoré is really doing something great. But these Europeans and Americans don't want to leave him alone. They have been talking bad about him, and the people are just saying, we've got it up to here. We're not going to let you to overthrow our people anymore. So they learned the lesson from Sankara, and they are protecting Ibrahim Traoré. So this is good, because if you look at much of Africa, you only see puppet presidents, presidents who only do the bidding of the West, and that's the problem. So the revolutionary reigns are falling in Congo DRC too. Congo DRC, since they lost Lumumba, Patrice Lumumba, remember the Belgians and the Americans killed Patrice Lumumba. Since then, that country has been in chaos. Even as we speak, Kabila Joseph wants to come back, but it looks like Felix Tshisekedi is threatening of withdrawing his presidential immunity because he was able to come into the country through Goma, the areas that have been taken over by the M23. So peace is coming. So we don't really know why Felix Tshisekedi is trying to play games with Joseph Kabila. Joseph Kabila is very strong. He controls the strings. He's just like the puppeteer. He pulls the strings behind the scenes, then the M23 does what they want with Paul Kagame. Okay? So Felix is heading in Joseph Kabila because that's what you've been doing and it's not working. So if you keep doing that, you lose and Joseph Kabila will come back to power in Congo DRC. Okay? What about Gabon? In Gabon, Oligui Brice Clotaire Nguema won another sham election, and a lot of Africans, head of states, went to celebrate with him. But we know this is just Pyrrhic victory. What we want to see is change that can translate into jobs for the Gabonese people, wealth that can lift the Gabonese people up from poverty. If Brice Oligui Nguema can keep to that promise, then he will have a good time at the helm. But if he doesn't, just like Ali Bongo learned the hard way, the people will kick him out, just the way he kicked out his cousin Ali Bongo. Okay? Cameroon, well, in Cameroon, the security situation is worsening because of the colonial regime of Paul Biya. Paul Biya, even after 92, he still wants to run as an opposition candidate. Biya is running against Biya. He is the opposition candidate who wants to change Cameroon, but he's the one running the country now. When you look at the north of the country, some of the Reverend fathers are telling us the security situation in the far north is very, very precarious. A lot of people are dying. The schools are terrible. The students cannot even attend school because they don't even have classrooms. Yet, Biya tells you, I'm going to make an effort to change things for the better. So how long are we going to keep waiting, Mr. Biya, for you to change things and make Cameroon better? You said, okay, 2035, Cameroon is going to emerge. Really? Well, the beautiful ones are not yet born. Guinea, Mamadi Doumbouya is also a colonial collaborator of France. He was also at Brice Oligui Clotaire Nguema's inauguration. He was having a good time, and I saw the president of Gabon pass the torch to him. They were having fun, enjoying themselves at the expense of the people, right? Even in Guinea, the people are not happy. Since Mamadi Doumbouya took power, they say they are stealing the resources of the country, so they are not really developing the country, contrary to what he promised the people. But we know Guinea is a country of coups. There are more coups that are going to come. And of course, probably one of the first coups in Africa took place in Ghana. Remember when they overthrew Kwame Nkrumah? Why did they overthrow him? Well, they overthrew him because he was against the West. He was trying to change his country. He had the idea, the dream of a united Africa. And that dream is still in the minds of a lot of Africans. That dream has not died with Nkrumah. Nkrumah is dead, but the dream of free Africa from colonialism is still in the hearts and minds of the African people, which is why the youth of today remember the martyrs of freedom, such as Kwame Nkrumah, okay? All these people lost their lives or they lost power because they did not want to toe the line and obey the colonial master. So the colonial master teamed up with lackeys to overthrow them. And this set Africa on a negative path. When people ask, why is it that Africa is not developing? It's because our people team up with the enemy, they dance with the enemy. And that's why Africa is where it is. L'Afrique Noire est mal partie. So it's not developing. What about Ivory Coast? We even hear Alassane Ouattara, who is another colonial collaborator, a stooge of France. He is the one who has been masterminding the coup d'etats that they have been organizing against Ibrahim Traoré. In his own country, even after a third term, he still wants to get more terms, no term limits. So he wants to be president forever. Then sometimes even the members of the opposition, Alassane Ouattara will not even want them to run for election. He looks for funny reasons to reject their candidacy. So this is just a joke. What about Mali? Well, Mali is another country on the right track. They are really struggling to stem the tide of jihadists in their country, and they are also moving away from the colonial master France to new partners such as China and Russia. Assimi Goïta is a strong man, so the politicians are very uneasy because democracy has not developed the country after so many years. So Africans need to start thinking about a new model of government. It doesn't have to be coup d'etats or military juntas, but they will have to figure something out. The program of a winner takes it all and runs the country according to Western democracy standards is not working in Africa. And that's why the coups are always coming, because bad governance is forcing people to take over power. Okay?
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland. Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
Niger has a similar problem. Abdurrahman Tiani, he's part of the Sahel. He too has moved away from France after deposing Mohamed Bazoum. So France doesn't like him. The EU, NATO, and the USA, they don't like him. So they have been forced to leave the Niger because that's where the uranium is, and France cannot stand without uranium. So even though the Africans are asking France, USA, NATO, and EU to leave Africa, the guys are saying, we don't want to leave Africa, we'll die in Africa. Why are the Europeans so gullible? Why not stay in Europe and stay in your own country? No, because of Africa's resources, they have to die in Africa. It doesn't matter how many Africans have to die, they just want to get the resources Africa has. Are those your resources? I never knew Europeans were this greedy. Leave Africa alone? No, they don't want to leave Africa alone. Then you take a big country like Nigeria with a lot of oil. Bola Tinubu has come. People thought, okay, this guy is going to change the country. It's a deal maker. But from what we're seeing, since Bola Tinubu became president of Nigeria, he's only been planning his re-election in 2027. So he doesn't want anything to stand on his path. So he wants to clear everything out and run again for president and win a second term. So he doesn't want to develop the country at all. So Nigeria may even become a one-party state the way we see things go. Because Bola Tinubu is making deals, breaking other parties. If you come to APC, he gives you money because that will guarantee his victory. So the other parties are really collapsing, like PDP, Labour Party. They are all collapsing because the pressure Bola Tinubu is exerting on the members of those parties and the leadership of those parties is tremendous. So he's using money to buy support. Then this week, we even saw videos that some of us sent to us about NAMS. You had the leader of the student group who was protesting and talking openly about the fate he suffered at the hands of Sheyi Tinubu, the son of the president. It looks like whenever you criticize Bola Tinubu, his son arranges with thugs to take you down. They'll beat you, torture you. Is that democracy? We don't think so. If that's democracy, that's thuggery. And Sheyi Tinubu is a thug. They said like father, like son. Already we hear he himself is planning to run as the governor of Lagos. So in this kind of dangerous environment, how can you have real democracy? Who is for the people? Nobody. The people are forced to fend for themselves. They are just struggling, doing things just to make another day go by. It's not easy. With all the wealth of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu is not even focusing on doing the job to run the country and help the people improve the economy. His real focus is on re-election. And we're seeing all of these signs. Insecurity is still there. But he will say, oh, I'm going to fight insecurity. No, that's just paying lip service. He's not doing anything to stem the tide of insecurity in the country. He's only thinking about re-election in 2027. So after that, what next? Well, then I make room for my son to take over. So, but you can see now that what is really hurting Africa is the lack of courageous leaders, such as Muammar Gaddafi, Thomas Sankara, Ibrahim Traoré. You see now that most of these colonial collaborators, they are puppets. They fear the Western masters because if they don't toe the line, the Western masters will overthrow them, and that's their biggest fear. But those who are not afraid, like Libya's Muammar Gaddafi, they have become the martyrs of freedom. They have done a lot for their country. Just imagine what Libya was during the days of Gaddafi. People can see that single-handedly he financed the African Union. Probably if he had lived, things would have been better. Okay? Then what is South Africa? In South Africa, we see the stories, the talk of war between Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and the Afrikaners versus Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of the country. You would think that those Afrikaners would allow land redistribution initiatives to go on. No, they want to cling to the past. They were given land which did not belong to them under false pretext. Now they want to keep all this land and they don't want Africans to benefit from this land. How can that be fair? Some of them are saying they want to move back to Europe, or Trump can bring them to America. Trump doesn't want Africans to come to America, but he's willing to bring these Europeans to America. Isn't that interesting? Well, that's just the way things go. Donald Trump wants to make America great again by underserving Africa, right? That's exactly what we're seeing. Then South Sudan, since this country became free, we're thinking this should be the promise of democracy, good governance. But Riek Machar and Salva Kiir have been fighting each other under tribal lines, so things are not really moving. So it's really sad when we look at what is happening in South Sudan.
At AUK Tax Service, we understand taxes can be overwhelming. That's why we've been serving taxpayers and tax preparers nationwide since 1986. Why wait for your money? We guarantee fair and accurate tax returns with experienced professionals you can trust. We offer a range of services, including accounting, bookkeeping, and recording, payroll, insurance, and real estate, corporate and individual income tax preparation, tax planning and preparation. Are you a tax preparer or entrepreneur looking to boost your income? Partner with AUK Tax Service for a free, fast, and easy way to grow your business. AUK Tax Service is the ideal partner for check cashing stores, travel agencies, realtors, loan officers, and grocery stores. Facing IRS tax problems? Let AUK Tax Service provide expert assistance to resolve any issues quickly and efficiently. With over 3 decades of experience, AUK Tax Service has been trusted by clients nationwide. We're committed to delivering exceptional service and ensuring bigger refunds. We make tax preparation seamless for businesses like yours. Don't wait, get your fair share with AUK Tax Service. Contact us today and let us handle your taxes with care. Learn more at www.auktax.com. Visit one of our convenient office locations or call us today. Our offices are located in Maryland and Virginia. AUK Tax Service. Bigger refunds. Better service.
Then what about Sudan itself? Oh, the war in Sudan continues without any abatement. It continues. The RSF is fighting the government forcefully. And the people are the ones suffering. So many deaths have been recorded, but it looks like no peace initiatives are in the offing. The people just continue dying and nobody can help. What about Togo? Togo is also a country where you have another colonial collaborator. Gnassingbé Faure Eyadema has given his country to the French, and the French have been milking that country dry. Then he gets more new titles. for himself. What's he doing for his people? Nothing. So when you look at Faure Gnassingbé and you compare him with Ibrahim Traoré, they're just like a pair of contrasts. Different type of leaders. Burkina Faso has a revolutionary leader who wants to take care of his people. Even though they are making attempts on his life, he still wants to do the right thing. Then you have leaders who cannot do the right thing, like Gnassingbé Faure Eyadema. After so many years in power, what has he done for his people? Nothing. Like his father, they say like father, like son. Useless. Then you ask me, why is Africa not developing? It's because of fools like this. They don't want their country to develop because they are getting crumbs from the table of the master. But their people are suffering. They don't care about their people. That's the sad thing. Then what about La République du Cameroon? La République du Cameroon also is a French colonial collaborator. Paul Biya himself said, moi je suis le meilleur élève de Mitterrand. François Mitterrand, l'ancien président de la France. That's what he said. So he's happy and proud to say he is a puppet of France. Sometimes people say things when they don't think people are listening. But when you listen to a guy talk like this, then you know that this guy sounds like a buffoon. And now, after over 92 years old, what can he do for Africa? Nothing. So you've seen exactly the predicament of Africa, which is why so many people are talking about Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a very small country, but it is inspiring many youths of Africa to dream of hope, better days. So what should we do? What should we do to protect Ibrahim Traoré? This channel is your channel. Share your ideas with us. We are willing to listen. What do you want us to do? How can we move Africa forward? We don't have all the ideas. We are asking you to comment. Send your comments to us when you watch the video. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like, because we really want to improve this show. We want the show to be accountable to you, our people. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.